everyone, my name is BlackWitchDirah. I am a Luciferian witch of the left-hand path as well as an occult educator. On this channel I talk about a wide range of occult topics and I upload every Saturday at 8 PM UK time, so if that sounds good to you, please consider subscribing. Today I wanted to make a video about my top 5 tips or suggestions, pieces of advice for those who are interested in the occult and witchcraft. But before I get into that, a few announcements. So as an occult educator, I have a variety of learning programs available to enroll onto. So this includes my courses on working with Santa Muerte. There is a part 1 and 2 to that. I have a course on everything you need to know about baneful magic. I also have a learning program on the Qliphoth, which is more of a mentorship based program instead of a set curriculum or course. It's more student led in a way. As we know, the Qliphoth is something that is very individualistic and different for you know, everyone. In terms of how they experience it. So that is a program for initiating through that system and the structure of the tree. And my biggest thing that I'm working on at the moment is my new demonology course that I am doing through a brand new school, up and coming occult school called Witch Skills, and I'm super excited about this because this is going to be run unlike any other course that I have previously done and from what I've seen online. It's essentially going to be like a university degree in terms of there's going to be semesters, there's going to be midterms, there's going to be exams, and you know, you'll have something to show for it by the end of it. So that is currently my biggest project at the moment. We haven't launched it just yet, but you can subscribe to the mailing list to get updates. And all of the links to everything I've just mentioned are in the video description. So into today's topic, my kind of top 5 tips and pieces of advice for those who are interested in the occult. So what inspired me to make this video was I'm a part of a Facebook group called All Things Occult. And I think one of the most common posts I see in there are, I want to know everything about occultism, the left-hand path, Satanism. I want to know everything right now. And there's also a lot of people that completely misunderstand what the occult is and what it's about and think it's all about like Illuminati and things like that. And they basically just want to get rich. And so my first piece of advice is, if that is your sole motive, to get rich and to get power, this ain't for you, because it's not what you think it is. It's not going to get you rich quick. It can certainly help with your wealth if you work on it enough. There's definitely, you know, magic provides shortcuts in life, it provides convenience, it definitely makes life easier and gives you more control over your reality. But if you are looking to transform your life overnight by selling your soul to Satan and joining the Illuminati, you're looking in the wrong place. So I suppose my first thing is kind of about your motives. So making sure that your motives are, it's not about right and wrong, this isn't a moral thing. It's not, you know, it's beyond morals. It's about sort of whether your motives are kind of stupid and ill-informed rather than them being like morally right or wrong. It's because the thing is like this shit isn't something to be played with and messed about with, and you know, there's so much potential to really fuck yourself up. So, you know, I'm saying this from a place of like concern that you are going into something and massively underestimating it. So in terms of motive, what is a more kind of informed and sensible motive for getting involved in occultism? I suppose Knowledge seeking is a great place to start if you seek more knowledge, if you seek gnosis, a higher gnosis if you like, if you seek spiritual transformation, if you seek empowerment. And it's not just about, you know, you can only do occultism if you don't have any carnal desires. Like, we all have carnal desires, and we all, you know, most of us end up using magic to fulfill those. But it's so much more than that. And if your sole motive is to fulfill carnal desires, I wouldn't recommend that this is the path you take. I would recommend that, you know, if you basically, if occultism wasn't going to give you money or fulfill your carnal desires, would you be interested in it? I think that's the first thing to ask yourself. If there was no illusion of money, power, sex, etc., and getting everything you want, would you still be interested? Would you still be genuinely interested in the knowledge and the gnosis behind all of this? Ask yourself that. My next kind of piece of advice for those interested in the occult would be that you need to understand that, because I think a common misconception is that when people hear the term occult, they think, okay, that's left-hand path stuff, that's Satanism, that's this, that's that. No, occultism is an umbrella term, and you know, occult means hidden, and you'll find the occult in mainstream religion. There's so much occult in Christianity. Christianity is essentially occultism, like within like the kind of mysticism of it, and you know, through Jewish mysticism as well. Like there's so much to it. It's not about devil worshipping, it's not about being an edgelord. It's like there's so much that occultism covers. You need to see it for what it is as a whole, rather than what a small part of it is. So if you're interested in the occult, learn what it means and learn what it encompasses, because it's not just the dark shit that, you know, you might be drawn to. There's so much more to it than that. My next point is, do not take what people say online as factual. So if you're someone that's exploring forums and stuff like that, just be really careful with what you are consuming there in terms of like information, because anyone can write shit anywhere. It's a little bit less like that with books, but even with books you need to be careful. So think critically would be my next piece of advice. Think critically about everything you read online and in books to some degree as well, because otherwise you're going to be set up with all of these beliefs, and some are going to be contradicting each other. Some are going to be, you know, just plainly like not true. So that's something you need to consider as well. I'd advise, like, you know, discussions with other people, of course, like that's a great way to learn, but it's just like, ensure that you think critically about this stuff. I feel like there can be such an absence of critical thinking when it comes to this stuff. Like, people will just read something, especially with like the rise of witch talk as well. Like some of the questions that I've been asked are just absolutely absurd, and it's almost like I can't believe that anyone's actually like reading this shit and believing it. So please, like, use your brain. You have a brain for a reason. Please use it. The next thing you need to consider is, does the occult fit practically into your life and into your lifestyle and into who you are? Does it fit with your personality? If you are a lazy individual, and you can admit that, it's important that you can admit that if you are, because some people are just lazy, and like that's just how they are. You know, if you're unable to commit to things, if you have a history of going through phases and, you know, dropping things when they get boring, or, you know, aren't stimulating enough for you anymore, or you're impatient with like not getting what you want, is this really going to be something for you? Because you have to work hard at this, and it's not about repetition, it's about consistency. And being an occultist requires dedication, it requires commitment, it requires doing the same shit every day sometimes. And there are people that can't even clean a fucking altar. That, like, I've seen shit on TikTok, right, where they're just like, oh, look how messy my altar is, I have this Coke can that's been there for like 2 weeks. And I'm just like, you're not fucking edgy or cool for going, oh look, I'm so chaotic. Like, it's dirty. It's meant to be a fucking sacred space and it's dirty. Like, there's something about, you know, cleanliness being up there with holiness, right? That means something. You keep your sacred space fucking clean, alright? Yeah, my altar can have like bits of ash and herbs on it, but I don't go like, you know, put my fucking dinner plate on there or anything that doesn't belong on there. Like, it just, I'm just like, why are you doing this? If you can't even keep a fucking altar clean, why are you bothering? It's like the most simple thing, you know? So think about the type of person you are. Are you likely to be someone that's just not going to prioritize it? Is there space for it in your life? Because if there's not, you might as well kind of not bother. You need to be able to make space for it in your life in a lot of ways, as in time, as in doing things that you don't always want to do or can't be bothered to do or don't have the energy for. In terms of people, do you have people in your life that are going to be difficult to deal with if they find out that you're doing this stuff? And you know, just like on a manageable level, you know, is it manageable for you to do this? Because if it's not, but you're still interested, you might as well just kind of like read about it and not practice. If you're going to go into the practice of it, it requires a lot from you, and I think that people also underestimate that as well. And I suppose my final point is going to be, are you just trying to be an edgelord? Are you just going through a rebellious phase from your Christian parents? Are you just trying to be edgy? Are you just trying to have a bit of edge? Do you think that this is just gonna make you look cool? Because if so, there are other things you can use to make yourself look edgy and cool. Just be a goth or something. Like, you know, don't start fucking pretending to worship Satan and all of that just to get reactions, because that's weird. And yeah, if you do that, you're weird for that. Yeah, occultism can make you look cool, but only if you're a genuine occultist. If the occult makes someone look cool, that's because they're good at what they do, in my eyes anyway. Because when I see people faking it, people posing, you don't look cool, you look like a dick. But when I see people that are good at what they do, they're dedicated to their practice and they know their shit, that's what makes them look cool. It's the realness of it. That's the cool thing. It's not the glamour of the occult itself. It's when people are genuine. Okay, so these are some things to consider if, you know, I suppose my target audience of this video would be, I might post it in that Facebook group actually, and yeah, just post it and be like, hi guys, seen a lot of people ask some stuff, and I think this might give some clarity to some things. So yeah, I suppose that's sort of my target audience of this really. I'm not sure if it's gonna hit that, but anyway, I thought I'd discuss it because obviously of what I've seen online, and it's just a little bit, it's got a little bit repetitive and a little bit frustrating to read over and over again. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and giving it a like. Also, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. That's kind of mental. I know that's not like big at all in terms of like YouTube numbers, but the fact that like 2,000 people have watched my stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'll see more from her. That's really cool. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.